Hello, Álvarez versus Terence Crawford. What is your honest thoughts on that as an opportunity and a potential fight?
Oh, it always is a chance there, right? We'll see.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Álvarez recently came face-to-face in what turned into a heated moment no one saw coming. Everything nearly escalated to blows after Crawford, full of fire, leaned in with an aggressive headbutt motion that left Canelo staring him down with his signature heated stare.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter.
The tension was almost unbearable, with both fighters exchanging words that only amped up the intensity. Now fans can hardly contain their excitement because Crawford has finally broken his silence about what many believe could be the fight of the century.
Of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and we're gonna know each other, and then we wanna see.
News just recently broke that a fight between Crawford and Canelo has reportedly been agreed upon, leaving the boxing world buzzing. This isn't just any match, it's a clash of two pound-for-pound greats who've dominated their respective divisions for years. The idea of this mega fight first surfaced last year after Crawford demolished Israel Madrimov in a stunning performance to claim the WBA super welterweight title. In August, at the time, whispers about a potential showdown with Canelo began circulating, but those talks quickly fizzled out. Why? Canelo wasn't interested in negotiating a fight before taking care of his own business in September against Edgar Bunga.
Well, look, to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is cool. Canelo. He will take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I can go.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win.
That fight saw the Mexican icon defend his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight belts in what was another dominant display of his power and precision. Fast forward to now, and it seems the stars have aligned. Both fighters have had some time to recharge since their last outings, and fresh optimism has fueled discussions that this dream matchup could finally happen over the weekend. Crawford and Canelo reportedly met with Saudi Arabian sports chief Turki Alek, who is rumored to be the mastermind behind getting this deal across the finish line. Reports suggest the fight is now set, and Crawford has wasted no time letting the world know just how confident he feels.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering.
Taking to social media, Crawford boldly declared, "I'm shocked the world watched. The best is yet to come. I had it in my back pocket this whole time." His words set social media on fire, with fans and pundits debating whether the undefeated Omaha native has what it takes to pull off what many are calling an impossible feat. Why is this fight such a tall order for Crawford? For starters, he'd have to leap 2 weight classes, from 154 pounds all the way to 168 pounds to face Canelo, while Crawford has proven himself time and time again. He has only fought once at super welterweight. Before that, he dominated at 147 pounds, becoming the undisputed welterweight champion after dismantling his longtime rival Errol Spence Jr. in a one-sided affair almost 2 years ago.
All the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. So let's not do that.
Spence, who was humbled by Crawford in their 2023 matchup, has now weighed in on the potential fight against Canelo. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Spence showed nothing but respect for his former opponent, saying it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wants to challenge himself to be great, then let him try to be great, so on with it. Spence didn't stop there. He admitted he'd be rooting for Crawford if the fight happens, even though he wasn't sure whether Bud could win. "I don't know if he's going to win or lose, but I'll definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not?" Canelo went up to 175 and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy, Bivol, too, so if he can do it, why can't Crawford do it?
Honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford, so
Spence's words reflect the sentiment of many in the boxing world. Crawford has always been known as a fighter who thrives on challenges no matter how daunting, from his early days as a lightweight champion to becoming undisputed at super lightweight and then welterweight. Crawford has consistently defied the odds, but this time the challenge is on a whole new level. Canelo, after all, is no ordinary fighter. The Mexican superstar has fought and conquered some of the best in the business, from his battles against Gennady Golovkin to his move up to light heavyweight to face Sergey Kovalev and Dmitry Bivol. Canelo has shown he's willing to take risks in pursuit of greatness. His resume speaks for itself, and his ability to adapt to different styles makes him one of the most dangerous opponents Crawford could face.
I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say this too.
Turki Alek, who has been instrumental in bringing high-profile sporting events to Saudi Arabia, is reportedly pulling out all the stops to make this fight happen. He's no stranger to organizing mega events, and his involvement has only added to the anticipations surrounding this potential showdown. With Alel Sheikh leading the negotiations, fans are hopeful that the fight will not only happen but will be staged on a grand scale, complete with the kind of pageantry that only boxing can deliver. For now, all eyes are on Crawford and Canelo as the boxing world waits for an official announcement. Crawford's fiery social media post suggests he's ready to shock the world, but whether he can back up those words remains to be seen. One thing is certain: if this fight does happen, it will be one for the ages, a battle between two of the greatest fighters of their era, each chasing a legacy that will stand the test of time.
Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it for you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy.
Ryan Garcia, known for his fast hands and candid opinions, has stirred the pot by saying that Terence Crawford might be in over his head if he faces Canelo Álvarez. According to Ryan, the size difference between the two fighters is too much to ignore. He emphasized that weight classes exist for a reason, pointing out that Crawford has never been known for his power, especially as he's climbed the weight divisions. Moving up to 168 pounds, a weight class where Canelo has thrived, could be a huge challenge. For the Omaha native, Ryan's concerns don't stop at the weight difference. The fight, as reported by Mike Coppinger of ESPN, will reportedly have no rehydration clause. This means that while Crawford will bulk up to reach the super middleweight limit, Canelo will likely enter the ring weighing well into the 108s, carry the kind of strength and durability that Crawford has never faced before. For a fighter like Crawford, who has relied on speed and skill throughout his career, facing a heavier and naturally stronger opponent like Canelo could present an uphill battle.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo is so big, so strong, and I think he'll be too big. I mean, weight class.
Still, Ryan isn't dismissing Crawford's abilities entirely. He called the matchup exciting and gave credit to Turki Alel Sheikh, the Saudi chief who has been behind many high-profile boxing negotiations lately. Ryan said if Turki is serious about making a fight, it usually happens, acknowledging the determination of the Saudi official in putting together blockbuster events. However, Ryan's tone made it clear that he thinks Crawford is taking a big risk by stepping into the ring with someone as dominant. At 168, as Canelo, Mike Coppinger has also weighed in on the fight, predicting it will be a major event in boxing history. He pointed out that the negotiations between Crawford, Canelo, and Alel Sheikh seem to have smoothed out after a rocky start last year.
At times, but I'm a different fighter. You know, I'm a different type of animal, so you're gonna see.
Back then, Canelo reportedly wasn't on board with the idea of fighting Crawford, especially as he was focused on his own bout against Edgar Berlanga. Now, with both fighters meeting Alec and a September fight date being targeted, Coppinger says the stars have aligned for what could be one of the most significant fights of the decade. Coppinger believes this matchup has all the ingredients of a super fight. He's expecting the pay-per-view numbers to surpass 1 million buys and predicts a massive $30 million gate for him. The fight is not just about legacy but also about sheer spectacle. He even went as far as saying it could be the best fight we've seen in years, assuming everything goes as planned. But while the fight promises to be a blockbuster, the risks for Crawford are undeniable.
Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business.
Former champion Mikey Garcia has also shared his opinion, and he isn't exactly thrilled about the fight. Mikey, who knows a thing or two about weight classes, said that Crawford is stepping into dangerous territory by challenging Chin Canelo at 168 pounds. Mikey explained that size and power will likely be the deciding factors in this fight. No matter how skilled Crawford is, he acknowledged Crawford's incredible talent, but questioned the logic of taking on such a big opponent. Mikey even went back to a conversation he had with Crawford at the WBC convention last year. He told Crawford he was one of the best fighters he'd ever seen, praising his skills and accomplishments. But despite that admiration, Mikey doesn't see this matchup ending well for Crawford. He believes Canelo's size, power, and experience at 168 pounds give him a clear advantage.
Bringing up Canelo, I think that's weird, you know, because you got to gain like, what, 20 pounds? Yeah. But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Well, you know, I mean, catch weight. You can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
I like 160.
Mikey also made a for why Canelo and Crawford should consider different paths. He argued that Canelo should move up to 175 pounds and take on fighters like Error BBV or Dimitri Ball again rather than fighting a smaller opponent like Crawford. Similarly, he suggested Crawford should stay at 154 pounds and fight other top contenders in that division. Mikey said that while the financial lure of a Canelo fight is understandable, the matchup doesn't make sense from a competitive standpoint. The skepticism around Crawford's chances isn't just about the weight difference. His only fight at 154 pounds against Israel Madrimov didn't do much to convince people that he's ready for the super middleweight division. Crawford struggled to assert himself against Madoff, a low-output boxer who didn't bring the kind of pressure or power that Canelo will. If Crawford had trouble in that fight, how would he handle someone like Canelo, who has dominated world-class fighters at 168?
Others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different. I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. You know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast, bang on him, and break him down before he gets laid.
Canelo, on the other hand, has proven himself time and again at super middleweight. He's undefeated in the division and has faced and beaten some of the best fighters there, including Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Jimmy Golovkin. He's also fought at light heavyweight, showing that he can carry his power and skills to even higher weight classes. For Canelo, fighting Crawford might feel like a step down in terms of physical challenge, even if Crawford is a pound-for-pound star.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
Still, the fight has captured the imagination of fans. The idea of 2 of the best fighters in the world, both undisputed champions, going head-to-head is too good to ignore. Even those who doubt Crawford's chances can't deny the intrigue of the matchup. It's not just a fight, it's a clash of styles, legacies, and ambitions. Crawford is looking to shock the world, while Canelo is out to prove that size and experience matter more than anything else in boxing.
Canelo's gonna put the beats on him like Dr. Dre.
Do we get a knockdown from Canelo, or does Bud knock down Canelo?
Nah, Canelo's not going down. You can hit Canelo with
Turki Alalshik, the driving force behind Saudi Arabia's growing boxing dominance, is once again shaking up the sport. His efforts to finalize the massive showdown between Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford are creating ripples across the boxing world. If this fight is confirmed, it might not just be a clash of 2 pound-for-pound greats, it could completely redefine the legacy of both fighters. But controversy is already swirling around the matchup, with fans, analysts, and even fighters voicing their opinions on whether this bout is brilliance or madness.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight, and Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo.
For starters, Canelo Álvarez, now 34, has finally said he's in for this clash on the No Excuses It's Levels Boxing podcast. Canelo seemed confident, even dismissive of Crawford's chances, calling it an easy fight and easy money. Canelo's words have ignited debates about his mindset going into this fight. Is the Mexican icon underestimating Crawford, or does he genuinely see this as another straightforward payday? His statement about Crawford's reduced movement in recent fights has added fuel to the fire. Some critics argue that Canelo's dismissal of Crawford's skill set could lead to overconfidence, while others see it as calculated self-assurance from a fighter who has proven himself against the best at super middleweight.
Respectful for Crawford to call you out at 68, say that he can beat you at this weight?
No, you know, everybody wants to fight with me, so it's fine.
But Terence Crawford isn't backing down from the challenge no matter how steep it looks on social media. The native boldly declared that he's ready to shock the world. His confidence is noticeable but skepticism is everywhere. Crawford, now 39, has dominated at 147 and even tested the waters at 154, but jumping to 168 to face someone like Canelo is a monumental leap. His vow to make history sounds inspiring, but will inspiration be enough to overcome the size, power, and experience advantage that Canelo brings to the table?
There you go.
Former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder is among those voicing concern about Crawford's massive weight jump. In an interview with ES News, Wilder didn't hold back. 147 to 168, that's way too much, he said. Wilder's take has struck a chord with many who believe the jump is too dangerous even for someone as skilled as Crawford. It's a different feeling when you touch heavier guys, Wilder added, highlighting the unique challenges of absorbing punches from a fighter like Canelo, who could easily rehydrate into the 180s on fight night. Wilder isn't alone in thinking that the physical toll of this matchup might overshadow Crawford's undeniable technical brilliance. Bradley, however, is singing a completely different tune on his YouTube channel. Bradley dropped a bombshell prediction: Crawford is about to beat the S out of Canelo Álvarez. Bradley's confidence in Crawford's ability to not just win but dominate has sent shockwaves through the boxing community. According to Bradley, he's been studying both fighters closely and he believes Crawford's skill set is simply too much for Canelo to handle. Bradley's view is controversial, especially given Canelo's track record at super middleweight, but it's also a reminder of just how unpredictable this fight could be. Then there's Shakur Stevenson, a rising star in the sport who has been backing Crawford for years. Speaking to Talk Sport Boxing, Stevenson doubled down on his belief that Crawford's style is tailor-made to give Canelo problems. "I think he beats Canelo," Stevenson said confidently. He acknowledged that the fight wouldn't be easy, but argued that Crawford could make it very easy if he executed his game plan correctly. Stevenson even went as far as to say that Crawford's punching power, something often criticized at higher weight classes, would be enough to keep Canelo honest. "I don't think Canelo is walking through his punches," Stevenson added, pointing to Crawford's ability to generate power at any weight.
Look at the champion, y'all. He running all the way from his mama house to home. Dedication, for sure.
Adding another layer of intrigue, Gareth A. Davies, a well-known boxing pundit, has weighed in with his observations about Crawford's physical transformation. According to Davies, Crawford has thickened out in recent months, looking more like a natural fit for the 168 pounds division. This has sparked debates about whether Crawford's apparent bulk is a sign of genuine readiness for the challenge or simply a cosmetic adjustment that won't hold up under the pressure of facing a true super middleweight like Canelo. Meanwhile, Turkey Ike's role in orchestrating this potential super fight cannot be overlooked.
And he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts.
The Saudi boxing chief has hinted at monumental plans for the sport in 2025, teasing that this fight could be just the beginning of an unprecedented era. In an interview with Ring Magazine, Ike's cryptic comment about white smoke on the horizon has fans speculating about what else might be in store. His ability to bring together two of the sport's biggest stars despite their initial reluctance underscores his influence and ambition. If this fight becomes a reality, it will undoubtedly cement Saudi Arabia's position as a global boxing hub.
Crawford if it's at 168.
Him saying it's an easy fight, he's out of his damn mind.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you're the most comfortable at least.
Still, not everyone is thrilled about the idea of this fight. Critics argue that it's more about spectacle than competition. They question whether Crawford is biting off more than he can chew and whether Canelo, despite his dismissive attitude, might be taking an unnecessary risk by facing a fighter as skilled and unpredictable as Crawford. The fight's financial appeal is undeniable, but some purists worry that the matchup is more about money than merit. For them, it feels like a step away from traditional weight class dynamics and toward a more entertainment-focused approach to matchmaking. The opinions are as divided as ever, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Crawford pulls off the upset, it will be one of the most significant achievements in boxing history, solidifying his legacy as one of the all-time greats. If Canelo wins decisively, it will reaffirm his dominance and quiet any lingering doubts about his position at the top of the sport. Either way, this fight, if finalized, will be talked about for years to come, and with so many strong personalities weighing in from Wilde to Bradley to Stevenson, the lead up to this clash is already shaping up to be as dramatic as the fight itself. But what's your take on the fight? Do you see this as an easy fight for Canelo? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you in the next one.